Today we are gonna talk about some really obscure numbers in Geometry Dash. From lots of Clubstep monsters in a single level to the fastest speed that has ever been seen in Geometry Dash, you are in for a treat. I listed everything I found from least interesting to most interesting, just so you know. Enjoy the video. The fastest you can go in a Geometry Dash level is a lot quicker than you might have expected. It isn't 3 times or 4 times speed, but the following. This level named Drop Dead starts off really slow, but don't let the speed deceive you. After 45%, the level speeds up to an insane speed, which was said to be around 100 times the normal amount of speed. This was done by moving objects to the left with a move trigger, which makes the level look extremely fast, while you're technically still moving at the same speed. A bit more interesting is the most stars gained in one single hour. By beating Robtop's main levels that give you a lot of stars, and some easy demons that give you the max amount of stars, this Spanish guy obtained a total of 282 stars, making it the world record star amount ever gotten. If I say, what is the longest rated level you can play like a normal Geometry Dash level? You will probably say the Long Walk Home by Ren, which is a level that is 30 minutes long. This however is not true. 6 years ago the level Largia Aspera was made, which shattered this 30-minute barrier by 2 whole minutes, being 15 minutes and 6 seconds long, the longest non-minigame rated level in GD. Even longer though is the longest upcoming mega collab with the most people on it. On a singular level, 110 different people built to create a 1 hour long level. It's named Cornbread Travel and here are some parts of it. The least liked level in the entire game. A level so bad that 99.9% of the people who played it quit after dying in it a couple of times. It is named Extreme Disaster and the rating says it's an easy level. So why does it have so many dislikes? Well, once you play it you will notice why. It is some of the worst gameplay known to mankind and it's everything but easy. This is why the level is the least liked level in the entirety of Geometry Dash with 66,000 dislikes. The amount of blocks that fit in the entire editor is more than you think. When using just 1x1 standard blocks and covering the entire editor, you can place 643,383 blocks in total. This count goes even higher when making these blocks as small as possible with the skill feature. Now you are able to place 2,573,532 blocks in the editor. Pretty juicy. If we are talking about crazy numbers though, I can't forget to mention one specific number. Kai is known for his Geometry Dash shorts that pull a lot of views, but one video he made really surprised me. In his video Stereo Madness but 100,000 spikes, he remade Stereo Madness so there were exactly 100,000 spikes in it, and it looks pretty satisfying, not gonna lie. The most amount of sentences in a single level name. This probably confuses you, because like everyone knows, you can only create a level with a single row of symbols, not anything more. However, some people made levels with 2 rows of characters even though there only exist a couple of them. One level though takes it a step further, and that level is named Every by Penshaba123. It has 4 different rows of characters in it, which looks pretty cursed. But one level here takes it a step further, with 2 crazy numbers being attached to it. First of all, the level How by Sputniks has the most amount of moving objects in the editor. Probably. If you keep scrolling down the editor, you'll quickly notice a tiny wave icon moving up and down, which is something I had never seen before until now. It consists of 19 objects and no matter what I do, it keeps moving. Not only does level How hold the world record for most moving objects in the editor, but it also does for the most triggers in a single level, which is more than you are expecting. Most really complicated levels have around 1,000 to 10,000 triggers in them, but How destroys these levels with its 47,000 triggers that are being used to create this beauty of a level. Clubstep is the 14th main level of Geometry Dash, and is famous for making the Clubstep monster that you can see in this part popular. It got so famous that thousands of people uploaded their own versions of Clubstep monsters, some of which were really cool. Seth Fubi also loved this Clubstep monster and made a Mandelbrot of it. Basically an infinitely generating structure that seems like it's never ending. This weird picture with a lot of Clubstep monsters has 2,197 Clubstep monsters in it, each one getting a little smaller than the previous one. The number that comes from the following level will shock you, believe me. GD Benchmark is a level with only 654 plays and 20 likes, so I expected it wouldn't be anything special. When I opened it though, I was shocked to see that this level measures your PC statistics. It will show different backgrounds to see how well your PC responds to it in terms of how laggy it is, and eventually you get a score that determines if your device sucks or if it's pretty good. My score was on average 3000, so it's not very good. When looking at my Geometry Dash statistics, I saw my total attempt count was 8944, and with the crappy stats that I have on my profile, I wondered what this would be like for the top Geometry Dash players with hundreds of thousands of stars, and it was a lot more than I expected. Player Steakman, the top 6 player in the game, has exactly 3.69 million attempts in his entire Geometry Dash career, which is 360 times as much as me, a little embarrassing. The longest time someone has ever spent on a single level is pretty nuts. This person called Cool Dasher beat a very hard challenge in 6 months, but that is nothing compared to a specific person with a huge amount of dedication. When he was born, he decided to dedicate his life to a singular level called Azure Flare. This level is known in the Geometry Dash community to be one of the hardest levels to ever exist if it would be verified, and this person named Aiden has so far spent 3 years and 10 months to get progress on it. His current best is 44% on the latest version, showing how incredibly hard this level really is. And before we get into the final 2 numbers I personally found the most interesting, did you guys know there first was a maximum amount of diamonds you could obtain? This was a lot less than the current amount of diamonds most people have, just 65,535 being the limit. The game couldn't count any more diamonds after that number at that time. The second most interesting crazy number I found though is the following one. You might have heard about one of the most object heavy levels called Corn. This extremely decorated level once had 1 million objects, but what if I said one actual upcoming playable level had double that amount? 015 Sock is a level that is aimed to have 2,222,222 objects in it. Once you see the level it looks pretty normal, but once you open the editor, you see the entire editor is covered in blocks, which looks insane. Our final most interesting number, and maybe even the most interesting thing I've ever covered, is all about a player named Culazo. This guy is in the top 3200 players in the game, which already is a good feat on itself, but how he obtained it will impress you way more. When opening his account, you can see he obtained 25,101 stars, a good amount of them. When checking out his other stats though, you see that he didn't get a single diamond, secret coin and has beaten no demons whatsoever. He currently holds the world record for the most stars on an account without having any other stats. That was the video, but before you leave, this will be one of the final long-form Geometry Dash videos on the channel. It definitely was fun, but I want to start making videos on this channel about my passion. Traveling all around the world and experiencing crazy things. So a new Webu era is coming soon. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you later.